Before we get into today's episode, we'd love to thank Bird's Nest for supporting the Lipoedema Podcast. Bird's Nest is an Australian women's fashion retailer with a beautiful mission to inspire confidence in women, one outfit at a time.
For our community, that means reminding you that you don't have to choose between comfort, compression, and feeling like yourself. This partnership is all about showing what's possible when clothing works with your body, not against it.
Welcome back to the Lipoedema Podcast. Today's episode is particularly important as we're going back to basics. We're discussing what lipedema actually is, and just as importantly, what it looks like to live with it.
This is one of those episodes we wish existed years ago. The kind you stumble across late at night when you know something isn't right with your body, but no one has been able to explain it yet.
We've walked this road personally, supported hundreds of women along the way, and we know how confusing, emotional, and validating it can be to finally hear the word lipedema.
So true. So if you're listening and thinking, this sounds like me, or I've just been diagnosed and I'm overwhelmed, know that you're not alone. And if you're a clinician or supporter listening in, thanks for being here.
Let's start with the basics. Lipedema is a chronic, progressive connective tissue disorder that affects the way fat is distributed in the body.
It almost exclusively affects women and is strongly influenced by hormones. It commonly shows up or worsens during times like puberty, pregnancy, or menopause.
What makes lipedema different from lifestyle-related weight gain is that the fat is symmetrical, typically affecting the legs, hips, butt, and sometimes the arms, while the hands, feet, and often the torso are not affected.
And that's why so many women say, my upper body doesn't match my lower body. Or no matter how much weight I lose, my legs don't change.
This fat is diseased fat. It's fibrotic, inflamed, painful, and resistant to diet and exercise, which is why telling someone with lipedema to just lose weight is not only inaccurate, it's harmful.
Common symptoms include heaviness, aching, tenderness, easy bruising, swelling that just worsens throughout the day, and pain on pressure. For many women, even being touched can hurt.
And importantly, lipedema is not caused by laziness, overeating, or lack of willpower. You cannot diet or exercise your way out of lipedema.
One of the biggest issues with lipedema is that it is widely misunderstood, even within healthcare.
Most women are told they're obese, unfit, or non-compliant. Many spend decades dieting, over-exercising, or developing disordered eating patterns trying to fix a body that isn't responding as expected.
And because lipedema fat doesn't behave like regular fat, these efforts often lead to weight loss from the upper body only, increasing the visual and emotional disconnect.
There's also a lack of education in medical training. Many clinicians simply weren't taught about lipedema, so they don't know how to look for it.
That delay in diagnosis matters. Without support, lipedema can progress, impact mobility, contribute to lymphatic overload, and significantly affect mental health.
One of the questions we get asked all the time is, what should my doctor or clinician actually be looking for? And this is such an important piece because knowing what to look for and what to say can make a huge difference.
Lipedema is primarily a clinical diagnosis. That means there's no single blood test or scan that confirms it. A knowledgeable clinician will take a detailed history and perform a physical assessment.
They often look for symmetry, fat distribution that affects both legs or both arms equally. They'll notice a clear contrast between the upper and lower body and whether the hands and feet are spared.
They may palpate the tissue, feeling for nodules, fibrosis, tenderness, or that characteristic painful or grainy texture many women recognize instantly.
They'll also consider onset and progression. When did you first notice changes? Did symptoms appear or worsen around puberty, pregnancy, or menopause?
Family history is important too. Lipedema often runs in families, so mentioning mothers, sisters, aunties, or grandmothers with similar body shapes or symptoms really matters.
Now let's talk about what you should disclose, because many women minimize their symptoms or don't realize they're relevant.
Important symptoms to share include pain or tenderness in the limbs, heaviness, aching, swelling that worsens throughout the day, easy bruising, and sensitivity to pressure or touch.
It's also important to mention if your legs or arms don't respond to diet and exercise the same way the rest of your body does, or if weight loss has always come from your upper body first.
Mobility changes matter too. Things like difficulty standing for long periods, joint strain, knee pain, ankle instability, or reduced endurance.
And don't forget the emotional impact. Body shame, frustration, anxiety, disordered eating, or a history of being dismissed by health professionals are all part of the picture.
You're not complaining, you're providing clinically relevant information. The more complete the picture, the better the support pathway can be.
And if your concerns are dismissed, that's not a reflection of your body. It's a reflection of the gaps in awareness. Seeking a second opinion is not only okay, it's often necessary. We want to pause for a moment to acknowledge Bird's Nest, who are partnering with us to raise awareness around dressing bodies that wear compression.
One of the things we hear most from our community is, I don't want to just wear big, baggy clothes. I want to feel like me. Bird's Nest really gets that. Their range focuses on softness, stretch, shape, and versatility. Clothes that skim, not cling, and allow compression to be part of the outfit, not something to hide.
This collaboration is about inspiration, confidence, and showing that comfort and personal style can absolutely coexist. I want to talk about what this has looked like for me personally. Like many women, I always knew my body was different. My legs felt heavy, painful, and out of proportion from a young age. I did all the right things. I exercised, I dieted, I pushed harder when nothing worked, and every time I failed to change my legs, I felt like I'd failed. It wasn't just physical, it was emotional. The shame, the constant self-monitoring, avoiding photos, avoiding clothes, avoiding mirrors. When I finally learned about lipedema, it was devastating and relieving all at once. Devastating to know that it was lifelong and that I'd spent so much time not knowing about it, but relieving to finally understand it wasn't my fault. That moment changed the way I spoke to myself. It gave me permission to shift from punishment to care.
My experience echoes so much of that. For me, lipedema wasn't just about how my body looked, although that was really important to me. It was how it felt. The constant heaviness, the pain after standing, sitting, doing anything, not doing anything, the bruises I couldn't explain, feeling dismissed when I tried to describe symptoms that didn't fit neat boxes. I remember thinking, if I just try harder, maybe this will go away. And when it didn't, that internalized blame was exhausting. Getting clarity around lipedema gave context to my body instead of criticism. It allowed me to advocate for myself, seek appropriate support, and stop fighting a war that I could never win.
Living with lipedema isn't about fixing your body, it's about supporting it.
That might include compression, gentle and appropriate movement, lymphatic support, anti-inflammatory nutrition, nervous system regulation, and most importantly, emotional support.
There is no one-size-fits-all approach, and there is no timeline you need to meet. Your journey is valid exactly as it is.
And support matters. Community matters. Being believed really matters.
If there's one thing we want you to take away from this episode, it's this. Lipedema is real. It is not your fault, and you deserve informed, compassionate care.
Whether you're newly diagnosed, self-suspecting, or years into your journey, you belong here.
Thank you for listening, for learning, and for being part of a community that's changing the conversation around lipedema.
We'll see you in the next episode.
Bye. Thank you again to Bird's Nest for supporting this episode of the Lipedema Podcast. Whether you're navigating compression, body changes, or simply want clothes that feel good on your body, Bird's Nest is a beautiful place to explore styles designed with real women in mind.
We're so grateful to partner with brands that listen to our community and help make life with lipedema feel just a little more supported.
Lipedema and its symptoms vary from individual to individual. The opinions and advice voiced in this podcast are of a personal nature and used for educational purposes.
Please take away from this podcast what resonates with you, and please see your GP or preferred specialist for diagnosis and healthcare. We are Shelley and Tiana from the Lipedema Podcast. Until our next episode, bye for now.